One of the things that was said on the last episode of Sister Wives that I thought was really interesting was her friend Brandy saying, and you were like Stockholm syndrome. And basically, one of the things I love is that Meri's friends seem to be able to say things to her that no one else can. And like the interviewers can't, and her defending herself or her arguing with the whatever, but the friends see it. So like sometimes that's one of the things that drive me a little crazy about Meri is they'll be like, you should leave Cody. And she'll be like, absolutely not. You don't know the real him. But her friends are like, yeah, you should have left Cody. He was trash and he always treated you like trash. And I think it's interesting that she uses the phrase Stockholm syndrome. Now, I am not an expert in that kind of thing, but as a layman's, I don't know if she is either, but as a layman's term of just like someone who has been in a bad situation so long that they become sympathetic to the people who are treating them badly, we definitely see that with Cody and with Robin. We see this real animosity between Meri and Christine and Janelle, and I don't want to get into all of it. You know, a lot of people have some really strong feelings. But I feel like, can we agree that whatever issues she had with Janelle and Christine, Cody was really, I feel like, it's somehow skated by with no repercussions. Every time they had a complaint, it was jealousy. And jealousy is something you need to work on. You know, it seems like a lot of these problems could have been managed by having maybe a strong leader who came in and handled things. But instead, he's like, I'll just get a third wife. And then they can figure it out. And it seems like they kind of did. It sounds like it was very difficult for Janelle to join the family. I totally get from someone who's like, I'm not convinced that polygamy works as a concept. I see how bringing a second wife is difficult. Bringing in the third wife kind of evened it. But nowhere in there did I really hear any talk about Cody doing anything. And I'm even going to point out, Meri did not say anything more. She said something about how she stayed out of other people's marriages, but not everybody else did. And she goes, yeah, there was a lot of stuff said about me. Okay, I am incredibly curious what she means by that, but I'm also incredibly suspicious because I feel like she's continuing to see this through the lens of Christine and Janelle were bad to her, but somehow still has not realized that Cody, the main person who made a commitment to her and who made a commitment to her before anyone else was involved, severely treated her badly. Janelle and Christine didn't stop sleeping with her. Janelle and Christine didn't start withholding marital stuff. You might have other complaints about sister wife stuff, but in the end, no one else was going to sleep with her but her husband. I mean, they were really specific about that. And also Robin, who was supposed to be her dear friend and yet was never there for her and always had an excuse why she couldn't be involved. The next episode I'm going to watch is where they do family counseling after the catfishing situation. And the sneak peek is all about Robin crying about how she was affected by Meri's catfishing situation, which didn't strike me the first time I saw it. Maybe I'll go back and watch my recap from back then. But, in light of seeing how, oh, poor girl, what Cody said about Robin when Meri and Cody broke up, we see this pattern over and over and over again about how when something bad happens to anyone, it's about Robin. And especially when it happens to Meri, it's about Robin and how Robin's affected. And the fact that we're still sort of seeing this narrative around the idea that like, hey, I get it. I'm sure that there was plenty of stuff. And I could actually point out stuff that Janelle and Christine did where I would be on Meri's side. For instance, when they were moving to Flagstaff and Meri had bought by herself with her own family members to support the Parowan house. I totally support her in that. That's totally hers. I get all that. But they were really bugging her. Are you going to Flagstaff? Are you going to Flagstaff? And the whole time I was like, just let her go. It's so clear that Cody is never going to reconcile with her. It was already clear at that point that he was just done. He was over it. He wasn't even really emotionally. Like the fact that he was so blasé about the whole thing kind of shows how far, like he was just not, this was a stranger's problem, not his wife's, as far as I was concerned. And I feel like that, and then same thing goes for when Maddie gave birth and Meri kind of felt left out because everyone else was there, and then Christine kind of stepped in. It really wasn't Christine's fault. I'm sorry, I love Christine, but she is not a perfect person. So yes, there are there are instances where Janelle and Christine are wrong, but the fact that I kind of have an issue with the fact that she brought it up here, as opposed to we still are not really getting her sticking to or talking about in great depth or having any anger about how Cody treated her. Like she'll say something and then she'll turn around and be like, well, maybe I should have worked harder or maybe I should have done that. And we're still not seeing any genuine anger about Robin. You know, she'll say things like, well, Robin wasn't really there. But it's odd to me that she has so much anger reserved for Christine and Janelle, but not for Cody and Robin. But not for Cody and Robin. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying she doesn't deserve to be mad at the others, but the fact that it seems to be so disproportionately affected on them, but not on what Cody and Robin are doing. So I really think there's something in there about her having this overlying sympathy to the people who manipulated her behind her back rather than the people that she had direct conflict to her face. Does that make sense? I don't know. You probably aren't going to watch this far, but I think that was the real summary of what I was trying to say.